Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Gabe Amo of Rhode Island, who just came from a town hall. Congressman, great to see you. How are people reacting to the news of the stock market and Trump's tariffs?
Well, what I heard from my constituents tonight, I'm sure is being felt by people across this country, which is great fear and concern about the actions of our president. I mean, we see these tariffs come down, which are only going to yield layoffs, higher prices, ruined diplomatic relations, and no concern. The Commerce Secretary, the president himself, this is just a blip to them. These are real people's lives that are being affected. And I heard that tonight from my constituents. That, combined with the pursuit of tax cuts for billionaires, as they cut Medicaid and SNAP, people are afraid.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure one thing people want is an explanation, Congressman. What do you say about policy that seems to have no rationale other than the whim of a king?
It's really hard to explain. I'll be honest, because, we exercise logic and thoughtfulness. People elect their leaders because they think they're going to have a plan, not arbitrarily decide how they are going to cut really essential lifelines to the global economy and really hurting everybody across the country. And so it's hard to reason out with people. And I just say that these folks are at best poorly informed, at worst coming after the core of our values. And I'm afraid it's the worst.
Well, what other specific issues came up as top of mind for your voters, Congressman?
A lot of the lawlessness. We have heard and seen the arbitrary cutting of services at the Social Security Administration. We have seen wide layoffs and attempts to illegally terminate federal employees, some of whom were in that room tonight. And so the fear that these decisions being made on a whim, driven by Elon Musk's Doge, the real complacency and compliance that we see out of Republicans in the House who are just letting this happen, and really not seeing any courage, contrary to what the vice president said, any courage from leaders on the other side of the aisle.
The Boston Globe reports food banks across New England are scrambling after the Trump administration this month cut some $1 billion from programs that help them obtain food for distribution. With the support of federal assistance amounts to 10 to 30% of their total distributions. Congressman Amo, what can you say to voters who are worried about the future impact of Trump's cuts?
Look, I will say what I've said here at home. I visited the Rhode Island Community Food Bank a couple weeks ago to communicate my real concern with regard to the plans that are part of the budget resolution that came out of the House a few weeks ago. And I've said that we have to be vocal. We have to be sure to communicate out the needs that are in our communities, and we have to dig in and support each other. At this time of need, where we are being abandoned by the Trump administration and Republicans in Congress, we have to focus on the people at home and support great organizations that help people who need it the most. And in fact, because of these actions, we're seeing wider use of food banks here in my state.
Congressman Amo, I got to get you on one more thing, because we saw some big Democratic wins this week. Susan Crawford won in that Supreme Court race in Wisconsin. Senator Cory Booker broke a filibuster record speaking against Donald Trump. Did any of that penetrate to local voters you talked to?
Big time. When I said Wisconsin, there was a round of applause in the room. Now, these are people who don't have the practice of electing judges, but we at home know that that is a blow for the progress that we are going to make as we work towards elections around this country. I would additionally say, when Senator Booker was invoked, I shared my story of going to the Senate chamber to witness this moment in history, where I wrote a note to my friend saying, keep going, brother, because we will win for the people we serve. And people in that room tonight felt inspiration. I'm certainly inspired, but we have to keep going. Just like the senator did, we'll keep pushing for the American people.
I'm curious, Congressman, a round of applause for Wisconsin. People know what Senator Booker did. Do you sense that there's a shift in the mood of your constituents between pre-Wisconsin and Senator Booker and where we are, what you saw tonight?
Well, I think people are focused on where can we find beams and lights of hope out there. And so when you have real examples of what happens when we come together, when we work hard, when we seek to amplify our message and our values, people can rally around that. So that's sort of the message here of this week is we have to give people something to work towards. We have to give people a sense that their hope will be met with action and really oriented on doing what we need to do to get back not only the hearts and minds, but the sort of the emphasis and focus on delivering results for people.
Congressman Gabe Amo of Rhode Island, thank you very much for coming to The Last Word.
Thanks for having me, Jonathan.